Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It is time for our May allotment tour. We will start the tour as is customary from outside of the shed, or from stepping out of the shed rather. First up, the greenhouse. Everything is in desperate need of planting out. Things in here are getting really leggy. Those things need pricking out and everything needs watering. But things are coming along well. Got beetroots and leeks, more leeks, tomatoes, back there are some sunflowers, loads of basil and lettuce. I sowed some purple sprouting broccoli, not thinking any of it would germinate, and it's all germinated and is now desperate to be pricked out. Same with cabbages. We've got parsley, snapdragons, dill, coriander, cosmos, and lettuce. Oh yeah, look, the coriander really needs to be watered. This cosmos also needs to be not quite sure what the right word is, pinched out, I think, because it's getting a bit leggy. Moving along the wildflower border, forest border, the catmint is starting to flower. I'm very happy that unlike previous catmints, my cats have not destroyed this. The plum tree, all of the plums have gone. And I don't know if it's because we had some quite harsh weather recently. More likely is this dry sandy soil. Look, there's nothing in there at all. It's a root from a poppy that I pulled out earlier. My tiny little thyme loves it, and look, it's flowering. That smells lovely. Blackcurrants are getting very close to ready. This is so exciting. The strawberries. This strawberry was bearing a lot of fruit, but again, it's been so dry that even though we've had a week of rain, these guys are really struggling. The rhubarb basically died. It really didn't thrive this year, and I think over autumn I'm going to completely rethink this whole border, because this is the lemon balm, which is looking quite nice. Everything in this border is really struggling, and I think it's because this is just, look at that soil. There's nothing in here to keep any of these plants really well nourished, so this whole bed might end up being rethought. The cherries are faring better, so maybe we'll get some cherries. A new update, the pig pen is full. I have layered over the top with cardboard, and I'm weighting it down with the strawberries and the last of the sweet peas, which desperately need a home. Did I say strawberries? I meant to say tomatoes if I did. And my job tomorrow will be to go to the garden centre and get topsoil to put in here, and then I can start planting out the tomatoes, because look at these guys, they are so desperate. Oh, and they need some maintenance as well. Look, side shoots need pinching out. I've got a potato growing out of my compost bin. Over here, the honeysuckle is looking very healthy, but it hasn't flowered yet this year. Normally this is quite an early flowerer, but I gave it such an epic cutback in the very, very early spring. I don't think it's ready to flower. And that is a tiny, tiny, tiny little marsh something that I bought as a pond edge plant, and I put it on what I thought was the wet side of the pond. Turns out to be the dry side of the pond. pond is full of duckweed, but it seems to be doing okay. In this bed, because of the rain, we're starting to get weeds growing back, but got some raspberries. Those are exciting, and some extra shoots or suckers, I'm not quite sure what they're called with raspberries. So many flowers in bloom in the garden at the moment, it's absolutely wonderful. I've got a cabbage that needs to come out, that's going to be dinner one day next week. And these are the surprise parsleys, which I direct sowed in something like October, just as a see what happens. And I have an unexpected row of parsley because I thought everything died. Garlic chives. I cut those back quite harshly recently, so they're growing back. These are some of the bedding plants that I planted, and they go to bed. These were like full out earlier. It's actually quite late in the day. It's kind of 6 o'clock-ish. I have been busy cleaning my house at long last, and I just took the dogs out for a minute, and it's actually sunny for the first time all day. It's been all day looking like it was about to rain, which is why I chose housework over garden. And yeah, just seem to have found an hour of sunshine to do this tour for you. So yes, earlier when I was dumping some compost, these were full out, looking beautiful. The cut flower bed, I haven't cut any flowers, it's just going wild. Also looking great. Look at these snapdragons, and this is the snapdragon I grew last year from seed. And here are some more bedding plants, and again they've put themselves to bed because these were in full bloom when I visited the compost bin earlier. Sweet peas are doing well, climbing up the trellis fence, and they're starting to flower. This is my volunteer broad bean. Ooh, these look like they need picking. Now, I don't know what variety these were, so I don't know quite what these beans were like, but they look good. They taste really nice. Cool. Fabulous poppy. This has dropped a lot of petals, but I can see it from my kitchen window because it's quite tall, and these have been gorgeous along with the snapdragons. Exactly what I wanted from this bed, if I'm honest. Now, I don't know what this is. My garden is full of it, and I'm pretty sure it is not the thing that I sowed here. I sowed verbena, and that doesn't look like verbena to me, so I need to do some Googling to find out what it is. I do have volunteer cornflower and the lettuces, which are going to have to come out because I just can't eat them, and you can see they're starting to bolt now, so they're not going to taste very nice. So I'm going to pull these out, and then I've got space for cosmos and a dahlia. Bronze fennel looking beautiful. More marigolds, and I can't remember, I think that was a snapdragon. But it doesn't look like the other ones, so it might also be a weed. Misfiled. This is my Icelandic poppy, and there's actually, believe it or not, some more sweet peas buried in amongst all of this, whatever this purple stuff is. But the purple stuff is going to have to get thinned out because there's way too much of it. And right at the back there, another cornflower. In the edible bed, just look how colourful that is. Beautiful. That's my winter savoury, being very happy in the summer. Another cabbage, which is also ready to eat. Another very happy thyme. And then I've got some, I was trying to create sort of like a ornamental polyculture type situation in this bed. So I've got some celery, you can see there, some carrots going that way. I've got some interplanted with some lettuces, and I've got just enough space for a tomato to go in the middle. The other side is a bit of a disaster. I've got some sorrel and some rocket, which is going to seed, so probably needs to be pulled out. My garden centre purchased courgette, more sweet peas. Also, look, it makes me happy to see the little frondy bits that tie around. You can see a better there. Really nicely tied around and climbing their way up. A dahlia that is desperate to go in the ground. Probably should have gone in the ground a month ago. Lots of weeds that need to be dealt with so that there's room for tomatoes. My herb border, rosemary, another thyme, a purple sage, my Lazarus grapevine, which has started new shoots. I was worried because the original leading vine died in the frost and I cut it back, and I was worried I'd cut it back too far, but it is created another one. And then a regular sage as well. I've got over here an oregano, which isn't actually all that thrilled about being in a pot. Probably doesn't help by the snail. I keep meaning to find a space for it to go out in a bed, but I haven't gotten around to it yet. And then my 3 aubergines, also very ready to get planted out. This one is probably the weakest, and you can see that it's been attacked by something. And I have found, I don't know if other gardeners find this, but when plants are strong and healthy, they can self-repel things that come along and eat them, and when plants are less healthy, they are more susceptible to attack by slugs and snails. And then the mint, which is all doing fabulously since I potted it up into these bigger pots. I've already cut back at least once, maybe twice, and saved and dried the leaves for tea. And then I've added another one, which is just an ordinary peppermint variety. Pots of potatoes. That one's just starting to show through. These ones. Oh, that one could probably be earthed up again, but the rest I'm not bothering, they're just going to grow now. Raspberries are doing nicely. And another raspberry, which brings me round to blueberries. Not the heaviest crop this year, but still lovely. This one has a few berries. This one has more berries, which are a bit further behind. And the pink berry is only just starting to fruit. Moving on to the garlic bed. This is coming close to being ready. The stems are starting to dry and die back, so it won't be long till this is harvested. That's looking like a nice big bulb. Very excited for that. The rest of this bed is a bit of a disaster. I've got another volunteer broad bean. More absolutely out of control lettuce. Ooh, got some scapes. Ooh, and another one. That'll be great in a stir fry. Yeah, this lettuce has got to go now. And then nasturtiums and some weed and a dead bit of lettuce. At the top of this bed we can see the marjoram, the perennial Welsh onions, golden sage, tarragon, and the new lavender bed. It's looking lovely. The glade artichoke that I recently planted has taken on quite well, although it seems to be being attacked by bugs. This is the first evidence of like aphid type things that I've seen in this garden this year. So I hope that that's not a sign that this guy is not long for this world. And then the new rhubarb, which look, it's got a new bit coming through, so it must be quite happy. And last but by no means least, the greenhouse, which is in exactly the same state as it was when you last saw it. I have 3 pieces left to fit and absolutely no energy to do it, so as much as it needs to be done, that's not going to get finished too quickly. Just going to stick my head over the gate or the fence so you can see the roses, Lady Salisbury, looking absolutely spectacular. Also Desdemona, absolute tart she is. And the apple tree is doing very well. This needs a feed. I'm a little bit behind on my feeding schedule. I need to move the wheelbarrow. I'm doing some very precarious teetering. Oh, and I've just tipped it. And all the water's fallen out. I was trying to save that water to put in the pond. There's our new rose, looking much healthier. Now it's in a proper pot. This one is Charlotte Bronte, I think. And then over there, got my fig tree. It's full of leaves, no fruit. A bay tree. And an Eric basking in the sun. And thus concludes the May allotment tour. I'm really pleased with how things are going. Like, everything just looks so beautiful right now. I'm a bit concerned that I'm running out of space. I've got a lot of things to plant out and I'm not sure where it's all going to go right now. But I will figure it out. I will figure it out once the lettuces are cleared out of the bed that's got the garlic in it, and the garlic has been harvested. That's going to open up a load more room. We've got half a bed where the carrots are, that's free space, and then there'll be the whole of the pig pen as well. So yes, should not be insurmountable. I am going to say farewell there. Thank you so much to everybody who showed concern and solidarity. In my last video I was sort of just struggling a little bit to keep on top of everything and keep energised. I am feeling a bit better. I think the humidity and the seasonal allergens and a variety of other things haven't been helping there, but for the main, the garden is ticking over all nicely by itself. It doesn't need me, which has always been the point of the way that I try to garden. I am going to now go and give everything a really good water that needs watering, and then I might just sit and enjoy a beautiful sunny evening. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next time.